Hello everyone and welcome to Cappuccino with HR. My name is Rudi Bauer and after 40 years in business I'm 100% sure that the success of companies is directly related to the passion of the people working for these companies. With the Cappuccino of HR we created a format where we really invite people, it's HR leaders, it's recruiters, it's talent acquisition guys, and we're talking about all the different kind of topics, and the range is going from AI of course to new work, to leadership, and all the challenges along the way. Yeah, hello and welcome to another episode of Cappuccino with HR. And today I'm really delighted to talk about a topic which I like because I think we are in the middle of an HR revolution. And we're talking about breaking free from policies to people experience. And my guest today, and it took quite a long time to get her into the studio, is Katharina Baehr. And Katharina is head of people and culture and recruiting and employer branding at Contabo Group. So welcome, Katharina.
Thanks for having me today. I'm really
Yeah,
excited about today.
yeah, it really took us quite a while to find an appointment that fits both calendars, but I'm really lucky that we managed it and we're doing the episode now.
Yeah.
And before we start, probably may I ask you to introduce you quickly in a few sentences yourself.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Katharina, or Kathy, if you want. I'm head of people and culture recruiting and employer branding at Contabo Group. And I live what I say, the modern people mindset, people experience. So I have been active as in HR as a manager and trainer for over 14 years now, and juggle a variety of topics in parallel all the time. So initially between personal planning, management, interviews, training, and recruiting, before I went deeper into recruiting, employer branding, and the consideration of the experience in the people area itself. And yeah, through this part, I have always been, let's say it like this, the main point of contact for the people. And I'm also active as a speaker, podcaster, blogger, and on LinkedIn with some posts about my passion topics. And something about me personally, I'm 36 years old. I live with my husband in Cologne, and I'm a real travel lover. So yeah, this is all about me.
Thank you for that. And I mean, if you don't follow Katharina on LinkedIn, you probably should because we discussed that in our meetup when we started the podcast or stepped into the studio. I think what I really find extremely exciting is that she's really bold and brave. So she's not only putting some nice statements out, she's really naming the topics, and I think that's really relevant. Uh, I have to ask you this question because it's called Cappuccino with HR, and this is a question that I have to ask all my guests: is what's your favorite coffee, Katrina?
I don't actually drink coffee. I mainly drink tea, sometimes cocoa in the winter, and on very special days, latte macchiato at most.
Yeah.
So in the morning, I get my energy from green tea at last.
Okay.
So yeah.
So then we call this episode Green Tea with HR today.
Maybe, yeah, we should.
Okay. If we jump into the topic, if
Yeah.
you look at HR today, what aspects do you really feel old school and what definitely needs to change? Is there something that you have in mind where you say, okay, we haven't left the past, we kept it as long as possible, it's still there, even if we recognize that it should disappear already years
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. The way my team and I approach people and culture or people experience, l- rent note here. I'm not a fan of using the term HR on its
Mhm.
own. So, it's still far from, let's call it standard practice in many places. The
Mhm.
LinkedIn bubble often paints a misleading picture of the reality too. In my
Mhm.
opinion,
Mhm.
what has been part of my daily work since around 2018, 19, and what we constantly refine, to make even better, hasn't even started to take shape in many organizations, at
Hmm.
least. So that's why, in my view, so much depends on the overall mindset and the industry, the companies itself, and above all, the people working in the people function, as well as the level of support from leadership. This is an important point too.
Hmm. Where does it start? Where does the problem start? Is it a kind of we don't want to move, we don't want to change, we don't want to step into the transformation, or is it leadership still doesn't understand the real things? What's your take on this?
I think it's a mixture of everything. So you have the people with old old-fashioned mindset, I call it that way. Then you don't have the support from the C-level, or you don't have the area or the time for making some changes. Or yeah, I think it's a mixture.
Hmm. And and I mean, as you drive this kind of topic, as you're brave, as you're really bold, and you're naming the things, uh, what gives you this kind of backbone, let's call it backbone, to really stand up and cry it out and into the market and on LinkedIn? I mean, is it because you're 100% aware, sure that this is needed, or is it a kind of you have recognized that it works much better in a different way as you're using it probably within your own organization at Contabo Group?
I did this transformation change twice,
Uh-huh.
at least by myself and with my teams at this time. First at my old company, Plus Server,
Mhm.
and then in my actual company, Contabo Group. And
Mhm.
I really saw the kind of better way of working internally and externally, and having a better candidate experience, a better retention part for the people in the company. So I think there is really a need to have a modern people mindset, and
Mhm.
this is a plus for every company,
Mhm.
and of course for companies who want to be fit for the future.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is
Mhm.
why I think it's a really need and needed. And if you don't have a modern people mindset and a new
Mhm.
way to get this um, this area for people where they can be, yeah, make an impact, create a footprint, and have a
Mhm.
feeling that they don't have at old-fashioned companies.
Mhm.
Let's call it like this. Yeah, I think you're not ready on the market in the
Mhm.
future.
Mhm. And probably you won't stay future-proof as well. Uh, you named or you mentioned modern people mindset.
Yeah.
What are the three or four ingredients that you think are really necessary to create this modern people mindset within an organization?
Yeah, let's say it like how I would define this modern people mindset or people experience mindset. You know, I like the word people experience because it has everything. I think the job market is changing, and this affects not only talent acquisition in specific industries like IT, but across all sectors over the last years. So yeah, today it is no longer just a matter of companies selecting the best applicants. Rather, it is about presenting yourself as a company in the, yeah, best possible way and light, and putting interesting parties at the center of attention in such a way, yeah, that you can, let's say it like this, win them over. So those who fail to take this hard will lose great talent to the competition, and it will take them a very long time to fill their own positions. In addition, companies run the risk that a poor external presentation and the associated attitude will also lead to a decline in employee satisfaction internally. So I have already yeah, spearheaded this rebranding twice, as I said before, in this HR department, and the shift from the classic HR perspective with a focus on costs and people-oriented approach with an absolute focus on benefits. So in other words, people experience is for me in all directions, and it is the people-oriented way. So due to I think due to the changes in the market, it is absolutely necessary to focus on these individuals and satisfy as many of their needs as possible. And that is why HR must be perceived more as a sparring partner and advisor, creating positive experience for all the individuals in the companies. And yeah, this is precisely our intention from my team and myself in our company, and we focus on people as individuals, and the associated experience, their experience with us or with the partner team for the internal part. And for us, this people experience begins with people attraction. I think this is a better than the traditional recruiting term, because it expresses what is actually what is this actually about. And it ends with the employees leaving with a positive feeling and a good mindset, maybe at least, of closure.
And how important along this way is individualization? Because if we look, we have a lot of generations in the labor market at the moment, probably more than we ever had before. We have a kind of different kind of mindsets, types of people. The value systems have changed dramatically, so it's not only money or security or I don't know. So I think there's plenty of arguments that can be used, and I think it's very very individual. So two questions related to that: how important is individualization, and probably can AI help us to better understand these individual needs? How do you see that both them?
Good question. So I think that, yeah, it's really important to focus on the individuals.
Mhm.
In international companies, for example, you have teams all over the world. So
Mhm.
this is a part I like to call the modern leadership. So you have to be flexible for this different situations.
Mhm.
Yeah, getting with the right mindset to the things the people in your team need or in the company. So this can be something based on the personal needs, but also on the cultural base or something like this. So it's really important to have this right mindset and make a modern leadership way. So
Mhm.
this is another topic I have in a brand new speaking from me. So modern
Mhm.
leadership, crossing people experience,
Mhm.
where I get deeper into this points. So I think it's really, really necessary for a good leadership and to make teams successful to having this modern thinking of leadership and getting into the needs of the individuals, also from the professional perspective. Um, and to the second question with AI, um, yeah, let's not just AI, but technology and digital tools in the whole point. I think anywhere where you could spend more time with people instead of administrative tasks or something like this, anything can be optimized and digitized in your processes to ultimately achieve precisely exactly that, having more time for people. So it should be adapted using technology, or tools, or even, yeah, like things like ChatGPT or AI to make this time for the people happen.
Mhm. Do you think it's more a technical solutions problem currently, or is it a kind of a mindset problem?
Mindset.
Okay.
Mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned one of your talks that you're doing. I mean, I know that you have a lot. You're spending a lot, plenty of times on stage and on stages. And I think we initially met at a conference where you have been on stage as well. Uh,
Yeah.
Could you give a quick summary of probably the three hottest or most important sayings of the presentation that you mentioned? Is there kind of a executive summary that you can give? right here? What do you think?
Um,
What do you think is the hottest ingredient for modern leadership? To
this is really complex, so it's really hard for me to find three bullet points. But
yeah.
at least the first one would be it, it's not one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have to be flexible. There
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of things like the individual needs or something like this you have to be aware of. Then you have to build a team that is better and other than yourself to
Mm-hmm.
make this successful in this kind of way today. And you don't your team don't work for you as a
Yeah,
leader, you work as a leader for your team. I
that's
think
a good one.
let's say that these are the three bullet points I can say in this context to people experience here. Of
Yeah,
course, the speaking is a little bit deeper into the things,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think these are the three bullet points that I can mention here.
I mean, that's already 180% directional change for leaders outside in the field. Yeah, really good one. Really good ones. But what I wanted to discuss a little bit is, I mean, we see there's the what's needed to manage teams and to lead teams has dramatically changed over the years. So what I try to avoid, I mean, it always looks a bit, we are expecting from leaders that they do and they learn and they make, and so it's a massively increasing pressure on leaders. How could teams support leaders to do it right? Because I think it's not always we expect from our leaders. So could people in the teams do something on their own, and being a kind of self-related as well to get it right? Because it's very easy to sit in the first row in the cinema and spit on the movie. So that's always the easiest exercise. But do you have any ideas, or probably within Contabo Group, that you said, okay, we're working as a team, and working as a team normally means, okay, both sides are supporting each other. So probably the teams are helping the leaders to come into the right space.
Yes. So my kind of leading my team, and I try to do it with a in this modern way. I tell everyone. So it's really important for me that I live and do the things myself and with my team that I'm telling others. So because um, this is the best way to know if it works or not. So I think if you have the right kind of mindset and n- know that you're working for the team and give them protection from administrative and C-level things, let's call it like this, above, and protect them from other things that they can, focus on their work on their daily doings, and yeah, support them as individuals, but also as a team, celebrate the successes together. Then you have a team with a lot of faith, a lot of loyalty, and a good team building. And then they can really bring their ideas, starting to get themselves into the task, optimize things and processes, and bring them, yeah, into the work. And then it's a good yeah a good result in the end. So you have the best quality at the end, and then you have. I think this is what the team can do for the leader, if the leader give them the space, the support, and the feeling that they have the freedom to create their own yeah uh, own things and being into them. But yes, of course, as a leader you are always in the back and give them some
Yeah,
help and support.
yeah.
But I think this is what the teams do when you give them the space and the freedom and the faith.
Hmm. What do you think if you split it up into two groups now, say, okay, leaders on one hand and teams on the other hand, what do you think are the two or three most important skills for leaders probably missing skills as well that we probably haven't learned or are not in the amount that we needed? And what it is on the team side? Is, could you name it?
I think this is really hard to name because you have to have a deeper look at the people who are the
Yeah,
leaders
yeah,
and what are
of
the
course, of
mindset
course.
and the skill set they have.
Yeah,
And also you have this point to look at the team. So
yeah.
I think
Probably
it's
to
really hard.
probably make it easier for you. What is the one skill that you're missing on the leader side most, and what is the skill that you're missing on the team side most?
Oh. um, I
Take
think
take time to
the
think about it.
yeah, I think on the leader side, the belief in themselves that they could lead people,
Okay.
and the mindset to do this in a better way than maybe they
Yeah.
experience themselves.
Okay.
Uh, and of course the skill set for it,
Yeah.
because I think there are a lot of professional experts becoming leaders even if they
Hmm.
don't like people, or yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's the truth. As a leader you have to like people, and
Yeah.
yeah, when you're getting in this leadership role and don't like people but are the best in your professional way, I
Profession.
think
Yeah.
this, yeah,
Yeah.
this is the wrong
Wrong
way
approach.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, the wrong approach. And yeah, I think this is, so you have to, if you are in this leadership role and you want to do it, then you have to get the support from above. You have to get the skill sets or
Mm.
the help in kind of yeah, of some uh yeah, coachings or something like
Yeah.
this to get there to be a good leader with the right
Mm.
mindset and to handle different
Mm.
situations, to learn to be a leader if you want
Hmm.
it. But there are some people, I think, they have the possibility, they get the support, but they don't can be leaders because they don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
yeah, this is my opinion. I saw this a lot in
Yeah.
the companies I were or I was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and for the team, um, we have always special people in the team. So you have
Yeah.
always people with the mindset, we always done this like this and
Okay.
we don't have to change it. So I think this mindset is really important, that they are open for new
Okay.
ways and possibilities.
Mm.
So I think this
Mm.
is the best for being open. Yeah.
Have we in Europe? I mean, we had really good times. I mean, we were living in a kind of bright times. I mean, the last couple of, probably the last 20 years have been okay. It was always growth on the market. It was really more or less sunshine all over the place, economically. Do you think we have lost our curiosity a little bit?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It
Trying out new
depends.
things, trying
Yeah,
out new things.
I think it depends.
Yeah,
I think yeah, older leaders and management areas, I think yes,
yeah,
because
okay.
they always focus on KPIs, getting the best results, and
Yeah.
yeah, they are afraid of doing something new or try it another
Mm.
way. So this is
Mhm.
what I yeah, heard a lot in my networking,
Mhm.
and yeah, I also experienced myself.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, I think we lost the curiosity in some kind of ways. Yeah.
Mhm. Uh, if now AI comes into the place, I mean, do you experience it more as a fear, or do you experience more as a kind of opportunity? What's your personal take on AI? So if you're talking about AI coming into our lives, and I mean, honestly, it won't disappear. I'm 100% sure it stays. Yeah. Uh, w- yeah. What's your personal take on it? So really, Katharina's personal take on it.
I was very shy about using ChatGPT and something in the beginning because I didn't had the time to get a little bit deeper, and then I used the coachings of Daniel Mühlbauer. So yeah, and how to prompt and how to use it for some kind of people topics, and yeah, support it for making good strategies and something like this. And then I get a little bit deeper, and since then I use it almost every day, but not for my LinkedIn posts or something. I write my texts by myself, so but it's such a good base for yeah, for researches or for yeah, strategy things as a base, and then you can do you can do it uh, by yourself then, and to get to the end and get your creative things and your kind of own way into things. And yeah, I think it's as a base it's good also for marketing or for employer branding, if you have a base for post topics or something like this. I personally don't use it, but I know people who does. So yeah, it's I think it's a good help and support, but you don't have to yeah, to give everything to AI. I think this is not the right way.
I mean, I heard a really nice sentence at our conference in Berlin where uh, somebody from the HR team at Lufthansa, she was asked, how do you use AI at Lufthansa? And she said a really, really nice sentence. I think it was one of the best sentences that I ever heard. And she said it, I think she really said it exactly like this. She said, we try to use HR to create more human moments.
Yes,
And I
yes, I love
really
the
love this
sentence.
sentence because
Yeah,
if we as a society are really able to use it that way, I think this will really bring us positively along. Definitely.
yeah, definitely,
Uh,
100% with you.
uh,
Yeah. Hmm.
would that pay into people experience then as well?
Yes, of course, because I said earlier that yeah, creating more time for human and getting more people moments is what people experience is about. So I think what's mm, yeah, the point for companies or teams to yeah, to or what should be the point for
Hmm.
companies and teams to move away from this classic HR and toward people focused
Hmm.
practices, doing strategies, like my kind of people experience is that the need is truly to be recognized. And these moments are the moments where you recognize that you have to yeah, to that you need to have more time for the people internally
Hmm.
and externally,
Yeah.
so in every process.
Yeah.
And I think so does the value of changing the status quo. This
Hmm.
is that's something you can focus on that. And it's about building something, for me it's about building something meaningful and moving beyond the image of yeah, being the annoying HR department that slows things down and creates costs. So you need to understand today's people dynamics,
Hmm.
and be clear about what you want to create and to contribute. And of course, in this context, yeah, you need a seat at the table with the C level,
Yeah.
so you can connect the company strategy with the people strategy. I
Yeah.
think this is a really important point here. Some people forget this. They say,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is just the people the strategy and this is the company strategy. No, you have to connect it. And once the connection is made and truly lived, the
Yeah.
company is, I think, positioned for long-term successes. And
Hmm.
all and in this people experience area for the retention part, but also for the recruiting part,
Doing part.
there are
Yeah.
these people moments in the focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, that's probably a provoking question, but do you think that HR departments out there are really able to get a seat at a big table because they have this people strategy, they have the financial arguments, and because CEOs normally listen to financial arguments. I mean, that's their business. They are paid for making a company profitable, growth rates, bringing financial success as well. Uh, is HR already there to have it, to get the real right to sit at a big table? Because that is what I sometimes feel if I go to HR conferences. So there's this kind of it sometimes feels a little bit like self-helping groups, and I do not mean that too negative, yeah, but it's always we are the victims and we are not here. Nobody's listening to us. And then I have a real strong marketing background, and I was really working in marketing and advertising for many, many years. And I never got a single euro from my managing directors if I was not able to really show a business case. And I mean, there's some really good arguments in HR, honestly, because retention costs a hell of a lot. Yeah, if you lose good people, that costs a fortune. If you have to recruit people, it costs a fortune. Yeah, and so the arguments are there. Is it just probably the missing link is that putting these things into a real, as you named it, people strategy. Yeah, and I think that's the right term as well. To put it in a strategy, to really prepare it to get the kind of the open ears of the managing board and the board.
I think this depends strongly on how the chief people officer in a company, if there is some chief people officer. We still have companies, we don't have to forget this, that we still have companies where there's no chief people officer, where there is a head of HR under the CEO and then there's nothing. So you don't have a person with this focus on people topics, culture, employer branding, or all this kind of topics, and in focusing and bring them to the table. So I had the luck, let's call it like this, to have a chief people officer in my old company and in this company who was sitting at the table or is sitting at the table with the rest of the C level. And when we had this transformation, we show the needs, and we show what the value is, and then the people officer obviously was standing behind the team and this transformation, and then they helped to get it from the top into the company so that we can live it internally, and then show it to the external world. And I think this is the point here. You have, if you want to have a seat at the table, um, then you have or you need a person that is showing the value, that is showing that there's a need to change something in the company for the whole people, for the people strategy, for everything, what's in this area point. So, and then I think it's not so important that you have KPIs or something for this. If you make the rest of the C-level or of the management clear that there has to be a change and you need a mindset transformation here to have successes in the future and to be a better competitive, uh, yeah, so, not in the tongue. On the market, then I think it's not all about KPIs, but you have maybe some kind of yeah problems, or that they see that the transformation is needed.
Yeah, I think that's important thing, that you really show that there's a need for transformation to stay competitive. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
and
probably the most important thing, and you need someone who is really burning for that, and you need
yeah,
someone who also gets the open ears from the top management and
yeah. So
100%.
I think this is one of the biggest problems,
Mm,
that, or the biggest showstoppers, let's
yeah.
call it like this,
Mm,
to making a transformation like this, and starting a new way of people and culture, people experience, or something like this. The lack of support from management in
mm,
implementing this change from the top
mm,
down in the organization, especially when there is no chief people officer sitting at the C
mm,
level. And all
mm,
above, I think the mindset of some employees, these are some showstoppers too,
yeah.
when we have this transformation, whether in their own people team,
Yeah.
who don't really want to go along with this new approach and see it more as an expense than
Hmm.
a help. And
Yeah.
of course, the typical colleagues, so even in
Yeah.
the other departments, like I said before, who say we've always done it this way, so yeah, we don't need it. Yeah.
Okay, with a small look at the clock in the left upper corner at our screen, I see that we have already reached 33 minutes. So we are coming to the end, but I would ask you to do two things with me. I would really love to play a short round of this or that with you. So I give you two terms
Okay.
and you pick and choose, please,
Yes.
without thinking, as spontaneous as possible. That's the fun.
Okay.
So I've got some of them. So I start with policies or people.
People.
Control or trust.
Trust.
HR business partner or employee advocate.
HR business partner.
Process perfection or progress over perfection.
The first one.
The first one, okay. Annual performance review or continuous feedback.
Continuous feedback.
Okay. Hybrid work or fully flexible work.
Fully flexible.
Okay. And the last one, AI is a tool or AI is a teammate.
Mm, After
If
using it almost every day, I think it's a teammate. I really kind like of that GIF in
yeah,
on
yeah,
Instagram and something where you
yeah,
have like kind of roboter
yeah.
who's dancing on the floor and there's the sentence ChatGPT is coming to our Christmas party. So just
Okay. That was an that was an honest answer. That was a really
yeah.
honest answer. And the last one is if Aladdin with his magic lamp is showing up at your office at the moment,
Oh,
currently, right now,
okay.
what would be the one wish for people and culture?
Uh, that we don't have to fight for an overall and strategic employer branding who is supporting and helping retention, but also culture things, topics, and of course, recruiting, that you don't have to explain it every time again. And that's the definition of what it really is when you do it right. And then it's not employer blending, it's employer branding, and you have the best value, and to make to be a attractive and authentic employee employer. So yeah, I think this is one of the wishes I personally have, because some people don't understand employer branding, even if you told them a lot. So this is one of the yeah, of the wishes I have.
Okay, Aladdin was listening carefully, so probably he will deliver.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Katharina, it was a pleasure having you in the podcast. Thank you very much for taking your time. Thanking you very much for sharing your thoughts and also for putting out some brave statements even in that episode. I think there was some really bold things in. Thank you so much, and for the audience, please stay tuned for what's coming next. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you for the invitation. Bye.
Thank you for watching Cappuccino with HR. If you enjoy this kind of conversations, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Then you get all this kind of upfront information, your upcoming episodes, and all my nice guests. Cappuccino with HR is brought to you by We Are Developers, Europe's #1 developer community and a leading platform for connecting HR and companies together with developers. If you want to learn more, visit us on wearedevelopers.com. Thank you again for watching and see you next time on Cappuccino with HR.